This is called Rhythm Zero. She is on a night out, walking home alone, half drunk, half listening to the footsteps following the footpath beside the sea or following her, half listening to the footsteps following her, half contemplating running, half contemplating screaming, half contemplating moving until it is too late to contemplate and she is doing nothing but listen to the dark black crash of the water cracking ceaselessly beside her, and every wave which breaks to white foam on the stone sea walls is breaking with her, and she is watching the rhythmic movement of the stars above, and as her back scrapes raw on the concrete floor she thinks of them, the mermaids, silently singing each to each, the ones who have been made to understand the disease of having to try to survive at whatever fragile level they can achieve. And they are there, all over the world, in houses and streets and beds and car parks and alleys and floors, and whilst their young child sleeps next door, and shops and buses, and thrust into tube stations and thrust into classrooms and thrust into graves, and anywhere you can think of. Under this same sky someone has once lay dying, either physically or just inside. The woman in Delhi who was gang raped and killed. The girl in Steubenville, Ohio, who never got to say no, unconscious as she was with the football player's fingers. Or the 14-year-old girl on a Glasgow bus. Amongst all of us, the mermaids silently sing. And she who lies there with all the savagery of the sea beside her will say nothing. And I do not want to be saying this. I do not want to be telling you these things. I do not want to sound like I am preaching to you, and this makes me just as uncomfortable as I think it makes you, but when I read in the news about a 17-year-old girl in South Africa who was left dying for hours on a construction site, slit from genitals to ribs, with a broken bottle for intestines, whose intestines littered the dirty ground beside her, when I can read that an estimated 85,000 women in the UK will be raped this year, when I can understand that it is estimated because no one wants to report rape, wants to say I was raped, say I knew the perpetrator, say I was raped, say maybe we should stop teaching women how not to be raped but start teaching men how not to rape, say I was raped, say I should not have to prove that I was raped, say he should have to prove that he did not rape me, say maybe if you understood that then we would speak. When I understand this then I know that I should speak.